like a junior high jumper, someone who's maybe 18, 16, 18, and they're sort of good. Yeah, they could probably do about 2.2.
Okay.
So that would be Jack's answer. But when you start getting to the big boys, we're talking at the Olympics. These guys are long, tall, like lanky guys, 6'2".
Well, I was going to say well hung.
6'2".
I don't think they are, because they'll just hit the bar as you jump over.
Well, you sometimes see that.
Oh, yeah, true.
It gives them some rotational power.
Oh, no, you
Like,
don't see... No, you don't
as it whips around,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like gives them an extra...
Helicopter.
What is going on, guys, and welcome to Talk Bits. This is a podcast brought to you by the 4-Bit crew. First and foremost, if you have liked, commented, or subscribed in the past, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And if you are brand new, hit the subscribe button. If you are lucky enough to land on our video... Okay, Nate's getting emotional. If you're lucky enough to land on our video, hit the subscribe button. Why would you not? Jump in early because we're making waves now, okay? We're changing the world. Jump in early.
We asked you, did you know that most podcasts die before they hit their 10th? And we are now on our 11th.
Wow, that's
Pod 11.
such
Let's go.
We
Really
break,
mentioned
we
it
break
last
boundaries.
Who came up with that?
Damn it, my joke was going to be, I've never heard that before. But then you're like, joke's gone. Just turn it off. Just turn it off.
Yeah, but at least,
then come back.
at least Rich didn't have all the comments like you did from last week's episode about saying how you don't like gay people.
Yeah, sorry to everyone about that. If you want to know why, go watch that podcast. It's really great.
Okay, Hyakk, take, hang on, you've lost my train of thought entirely. I can't believe...
Got ya.
Yeah, you did, you completely got me.
Take.
So, we have a segment that's been going for a few of the podcasts now. It's called Hyak's Adventures. Hyak's been all over the place. Hyakk, take it away.
Right, so I've got two that I've got in the bank before I think I kind of start running out, to be honest. But I think they're there. I just need to think about them and go into the mind vault. But I've got Irish
Yep.
and Clavicle. Which one would you like?
Before we choose, suggestion, look at your calendar.
Yes.
But if you use
Well, I
it
don't
while
use
you're there.
calendar. No.
Oh, did you not?
No.
Okay. I find that to be a very good way to remember things. If you look at your calendar and see what you did in your calendar.
Oh, what are you saying in terms of getting more Hyak's adventures?
Yeah. If you ever try and remember things that were like a long time ago,
Yeah,
look
but
at your calendar.
sometimes it's just
See what you wrote in your
spontaneous.
calendar.
Yeah.
I very rarely planned what I wanted to do when I was away. It's like someone just comes up to you, want
I
to go
have
out,
done
want to do
since
stuff.
like the last 8 years of my life. Not before that, though.
What? So, I mean, that's a long time of your life.
Anything,
like a third,
anything
nearly.
significant will get wrote in the calendar.
These days, yeah.
written.
If you don't have a calendar, get one. They're actually game-changing, in my opinion.
I actually changed you with that.
He did. He changed my mind.
And Rich was the original one. Rich was on calendars like before any of us had
calendars
even
were even a
bought a
thing.
calendar.
Before calendars were even made.
We're talking digital calendar.
Yeah,
aren't we?
digital.
Yeah.
Just for clarity for
Yeah,
people.
but you
the
used
main
to have your
calendar.
wall one. Do you remember?
He still has a wool one.
I have a wall one now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, fair. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you used to have a big one on your wall back in uni. I think.
Yeah, but I had to use Google Calendar because I had like a lot of things on in terms of like training, lectures, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had to have it all in one. I had to be super organized.
So you can always see it all the time.
But I don't really do it anymore. I'm back to paper stuff now. I'm not really on a digital calendar.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's
But-
got older. It's gone backwards in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good point for Jack pulling a few more Hyak's adventures in the future, but I'm going to cast my vote. I'm going to say Clavicle.
Clavicle.
I don't know what it means. But
Yeah, nor do I.
Let's go for
Isn't
it.
that a bone?
It's this bone.
I
here.
thought so, but I was doubting myself.
Yeah.
I was
Hyakk,
doubting
it looks
myself.
like it's clavicle. Let's go.
Clavicle it is. So this story starts in Japan. We've mentioned Japan on the podcast before.
Konnichiwa.
Wow. Look at you go.
Big up sin.
Anyway, so I lived in Japan for 2 years. And I lived in Japan for 2 years. And
How many years?
2 years.
Cool.
God, you're not even paying attention.
Throwback.
Yeah, throwback. Anyway, I lived in Japan for 2 years, and from some of our previous podcasts, I've talked about my journey with my tattoo. Basically, not being able to have it out or anything like that. Anyway,
Yes.
so in Japan, they are really, really, really into their sports, right? And specifically their sports days. You know, we're into sports days here and there. They go mental with them. It's an absolute thing. You've got people crying because it's their final thing they do before they leave to then go to like high school or whatever, right?
Okay.
Right? So it's a massive thing for them.
I wish it was that big here, to be fair.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Did they have like so at school? You used to have like houses, and then your house would compete. In,
Yeah, so
is that what they?
Yeah, so their classes are like Ichinensei, Ninensei, Sanensei. First year, second year, third year, and like 1A and 1A, 2C, and 3B will be red team.
Okay.
Right? So they would split off into different colours. Anyway, I'm always invited to these sports days events, and I think I've talked about before when I've had to go to these sports days events, I can't wear any short stuff.
Yes.
So I can wear shorts, but I can't have anything showing because I would get fired if I have a tattoo on show. So I have all this like gear on or whatever, right? And people are like looking at me a bit weird because like, Jesus, it's the hottest day of the year in Japan where it's humid and it's just the sun is burning. People are fainting. You've got a long sleeve top on. You're right. It's like, yeah, just English, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah, because we're used to the heat.
yeah. So anyway, where this thing goes is I have been invited to all of these, of course, because I was a teacher there. You know, the assistant language teacher. And for me, the first year they didn't give me a team, but then the second year they were like, "You're on blue team," and I was loving it. I was giving it the big one. Anyway, this year, that second year, they said, "Do you want to participate in one of the events?" So I was like, "Yeah, mate."
Before they said what it was, you were just, I'm in.
No, they were like, no, they were like, no, it's going to be a running event.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, yeah, 100%. Because in my head, I'm thinking, running event against these little children, I'm going to absolutely slap them up, right?
Oh, no, here we go.
Right? So basically, it's a relay race between the kids and the teachers. Right?
Okay.
So me, I'm on the starting gun.
Okay.
Right? And you have to do a full lap around the full track. Right?
Did you say how old these kids were?
Yeah, they're like 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, beatable.
Yeah.
Easily beatable.
beatable.
So if you turned around and said like 15, I was expecting this to be like a...
Getting absolutely
Yeah,
ripped
yeah,
by
yeah,
15,
absolutely.
16-year-olds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're very good, yeah.
But
Yeah.
11-year-olds, yeah, you could do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I'm giving it the big one.
On the start line, or
No, before on the start, I'm kind of giving it the big one to the teachers. I'm like, I'm gonna give it 100%. I'm gonna absolutely trounce them in the broken English and Japanese, right? Yeah. And the funny part of this is that the teacher that works with me, the Japanese teacher that also speaks English, she was like, "Oh no, Jack Sensei, please, just give it 90%, 90%. You don't have to go 100%." I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah.
I'm gonna win.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on the start line. I'm the first guy.
Yeah.
And I have to go once around the track, and I'm off like a light, right? I'm going. I'm blitzing it. I'm feeling good doing it, right?
I think I know where this is going.
And then my age catches up to me, and the fact that I don't work out catches up to me.
you were quick, but your age was
I
faster.
was quick. I've always been like good acceleration for the start, but then top speed not so great. But against kids, I was actually beating them.
Until?
And then I got to the last 100.
Yeah, that's it. That was the bit I was waiting
Last
for.
100.
Yeah, and then my legs started to turn to jellies.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, after 300 meters?
Because I was sprinting the
Yes.
entire way,
I
right?
tried to sprint the whole thing.
I tried to sprint the
You're
entire.
sprinting
400
The 400
meters.
meter sprint is
That's,
tough.
yeah, that's no easy feat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, that's how I knew that was coming. You cannot, if you're like half unfit or anything like
Yeah.
that, you cannot be sprinting 400 meters.
Yeah.
You have to cruise at about 75, 80%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are gonna.
I used to do the 400 actually.
Tough.
I used to do the
events.
400.
So I think it's the hardest event. Maybe the 8. Because
Yeah.
the 800 nowadays is also a sprint.
No, really.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, it pretty
Is that
much a
faster?
sprint.
Wow.
Yeah, those guys they're at the top of their game. That they are basically 90% for the first lap, and then they're cooking as much as they can
that's
for the second
crazy.
lap.
I think we should come back to Rich after this.
Yeah,
session.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like we should.
Yeah.
I want to add a bit of context onto Rich.
Yeah, we'll
here,
come back.
but
For
let's-
sure.
I feel like let's close
Sorry,
this.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then double down on that.
So so right at the end, legs turn into jelly, but it's fine. I've just got a little bit left.
I can picture it, by the way. I can picture what.
And I've never, ever, ever, ever had this happen to me, ever. But my legs just gave.
You didn't go
You
down.
dropped.
No, you didn't.
No.
I dropped.
bro.
I dropped onto
I
here.
forgot it was called Clavicle.
Oh, so did I. I
Clavicle.
forgot it was called reveal. Right? I dropped onto here, spun, and then got back up.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then got back up and just walked it off. And everyone's face was like,
Sensei Jack.
yeah, Sensei
Jack.
Jack, because my leg was
He's
just
a kung fu master.
my leg was just blood flowing down it because it's not grass or like it's like gravelly
I thought it was
dirt.
grass.
Well, yeah,
It's
in this
gravelly
story, I was
dirt.
imagining we were
No,
on a
it
field.
ain't
So
grass,
dry.
bro. So anyway, I've gone down, my leg's bleeding, and people are like, "Oh my god, are you right?" Jackson's people are like the kids are just like
Horrified.
horrified, and I'm just I walk it off. I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, walk off, and they're asking me, "You okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. My shoulder hurts a bit, but yeah, I'm okay. Cool.
As soon as you got up, did you have to make sure that the sleeve was still
No,
intact?
this was all fine. I had
Good
a very like tight thing on, so it was all good there.
Oh, so it was always like...
Yeah, that was never coming off. After about like a minute or two, like the nurse that was asking me, like, cause she cleaned up my leg, and then she was like, "Are you sure you're fine? Do you need to get checked?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm all good." Minute or two, I'm like, again, never been like this, but I was like, I actually think something's wrong with me, right? I think something's wrong. So, but this is the big issue. She's taking me back to the nurse's office, right?
Wait.
And I'm saying, "Hey, get down here." She's taking me back to the nurse's office, and she has to check here, right?
Oh, here we go.
So she's like, "Can you take your top off?" And I go, "No."
Double down. Just no, I can't actually.
And she's like, and I think in her head she's gone, "Oh, because I'm a woman." He wants a man.
Right.
Man comes in, sports guy. He's like, "Can you take your top off for me?" I'm like, I can't do it. And he was like,
Wow.
Because you never told...
"No,
told
I can't.
them,
I
did
can't.
you?
No,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't have been let into the job if I told my company
Oh my
that I had
goodness,
tattoos."
man.
And he
Oh,
goes,
God.
okay. Because I think he thought I was self-conscious about my body or something.
Right.
Okay.
So it was this one. So it's fine.
Yeah,
I didn't have
yeah.
to get this one out. So we just took this out. He felt it. He's like, "You need to go to the hospital." I'm in a car with the vice principal of the school, and he's driving me, and I'm head in my hands, just full of. I feel so embarrassed. I've dropped in front of everyone in the school, right? And I've been taken to the doctors, right? And he's like, because he speaks a little English. I'm saying, "I'm such an idiot," right? And he's like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. "Do you like Simon and Garfunkel?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I really like Simon and Garfunkel." Right? So I,
Just saying what he can.
Yeah, whatever he
knows.
can
Keep
say.
it at
He's
ease.
probably trying to distract you as well.
Yeah.
So I've gone into the I've gone
That's
into
what
the
I meant.
doctors, and he's been there the entire time. We're chatting. I feel a little bit better about myself, and then eventually we're just about to go in, and the doctor's like, "We're gonna walk in, right?" And doctor's like, do you want, like, we're basically just like going to walk in and it's like, come in, the other vice principal as well. And I'm like, I can't. And he's like, oh, okay. And they don't speak any English, right? And this guy was a translator, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, okay. So I go in, they're trying to talk to me, and then they eventually like, you need to take your top off. And they're doctors, they can't say anything.
Yeah, you
Right.
can just
I
get back
take
to
my
normal.
top off, and they go,
Oh, okay.
They got it.
They
Yeah.
got it instantly.
instantly. They were like,
Cool.
so this now.
So they were
Yeah.
so they were so confused, like why the vice
Yeah.
principal couldn't
Yeah, they
come
were
in.
like, why can't he come?
Yeah, like,
like,
what's the
We need
problem?
to talk to him
Yeah.
about what your thing is. And then they were like, okay, we need to talk to him now. Put it back on.
So they were
Oh,
well
so
on
they,
board.
Yeah.
they were switched
cool.
on.
Ah.
Yeah,
good. That's
they're
good.
very switched on. And they were like, yeah, he's dislocated and fractured his clavicle.
God, I never knew you did that.
Yeah, I never needed
Yeah, I
that.
never needed that.
Yeah,
That
and
was a new one. New one on me.
Yeah, and I add it in a sling. You can't. You either have to it'll heal by itself. Like you can't. It's not you push it back in or anything,
Yeah.
right? It will either heal by itself, or you have to get
Is
surgery.
your clavicle or your collarbone?
Yeah, it's like
Part of
yeah,
it, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
right. If you were to see me in
I
my
heard it's
top,
a very painful break. But
Yeah,
I-
actually,
I've heard it's horrendous.
Yeah, from because it happens to
You're right.
cyclists a lot.
yeah.
They fall off the front. They hit something. They fall off the front,
Yeah,
and
bang.
then they
Yeah.
bang. They break their clavicle like that.
but it's like so. I think mine was just a dislocation fracture or whatever.
Okay.
It wasn't like a break. I know that fractures are still breaked, whatever. But if you saw me or like felt, you can actually feel that there's a bump up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. And to finish off, it's like basically had it in a sling. You either have to it heals naturally or you get surgery. Didn't need to get surgery. And I was in two schools. I fell over in one school, went to the other school, and everyone's like, What happened?"
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Sports
like
day.
I ran a bit too fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gave it 100%. And that was the story.
that's an awesome one, man.
That's good.
They've all been brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really
Very
good
good.
story, Hyakk.
It-
Awesome.
It reminds me of a few things that happened to me when I was in Loughborough as well. But,
Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
We'll have a rich
Adventure
adventures
as well as
Rich
Yeah, maybe
Adventures.
that's how you move on with the segment.
Yeah,
with
maybe.
Jack's,
If Hyak's getting to the point where
Yeah,
he needs a bit
drying
more
up.
thinking time,
Yeah.
we'll go to a different adventure. But we were going to go to Rich, weren't we?
Yeah,
me if I'm
what
double
did
down.
Nath wanna...
I just think it would be nice to put a bit of context onto the knowledge of the different running events,
Yeah.
etc., etc., etc.
Yeah,
You
so-
know where to go with it. I don't need to tell you.
yeah. So like a 60-meter sprint, you
60.
yeah, a 60-meter sprint, an indoor 60-meter sprint, you barely will. I know this might sound odd, but you will barely breathe, right? It's over in about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25.
For the top guys, for the
Oh.
top guys,
Like a
they're
minute.
sprinting at that angle for about 35, 40 meters, and then they're coming up to about there, and then they'll be upright,
Oh, I
like
see.
pin upright for about 15, 20 meters, and then they're dipping, and the race is over.
Yeah.
But like 100 meters, like you'll be breathing, you could be breathing a little bit more as you get more upright. But like a 400 meter, to hear someone say that they went to sprint it flat out from the beginning and they're not a trained 400 meter runner, I knew before he even said that his legs were going to
Yeah.
because I have been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
The
mate.
thing is, I nearly made it full sprint.
Yeah, but nearly is not.
no, honestly, mate, I know,
There is a field out there.
I know,
Should we go try it right now?
I know exactly what he's talking about with the legs turning to jelly though. Like you can't lift your legs
No.
anymore. Like
I've never had that feeling before.
Yeah,
it's
should
so
we?
heavy.
Yeah, but should we go do it in the episode break and then throw it in the middle section?
Oh,
What, a sprint?
no.
Yeah, yeah.
No. You're going to have to give me some time to actually go practice some sprints. Because if I get on there now, I would look my age. I'm not in any sort of shape.
To be fair, I am here in Crocs today as well. I wouldn't be-
No,
I
you got
wouldn't
sport
be able to
mode.
either.
Mode.
Pull my
Yeah.
sport mode, yeah.
No, I'd run better. rather run better.
Well, what's the context for you knowing all this information about sprinting
yeah, that's what
and
I
such?
was poking in. Yeah.
Well,
thank
the reason I actually voted clavicle was just because I'm a bit of a physiology nerd. Like I've done a couple degrees within sports science and physiology for viewers at home, and I also done athletics, so I know 400s. I've done a few of them myself in an actual race mode.
Mine was in a race mode too, bro.
Yeah, done lots of them in training. You know, as you're preparing your tank for like a 200-meter sprint, you might dip into 300-meter training runs or 350-meter training runs, and very occasionally you might dip into a 400-meter training run. Not so much, but like they might come into your training in the depths of winter. But yeah, and I also I've done athletics. I've done a bit of sports massage therapy whilst I was at Loughborough as well. So like I know that so much. Like
Yeah.
that's funny for me to hear you say that story. But it reminded me of one where you realized something was wrong and you tried to get out of there like just as discreetly as possible. I once tore a hip flexor like on the front side of your hip coming out of the blocks trying to like warm up and get ready for a race. Ripped it really, really badly on my left side.
Oh, so you're pre-event, like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
wow, okay,
Like
Yeah.
warming up for it.
Yeah. So we had this indoor track, 100-meter indoor track. Really, really fortunate to have access to those facilities at Loughborough. But yeah, it was warming up inside, and then you were gonna like walk out as you get called up for your race, and you'd race. Doing these things inside, trying to hit that like triple extension, perfect technique as best I could do it myself, and on that big stretch through the hip, just ripped. And I was a bit injury prone at the time, so to be honest, I was a bit embarrassed about it, and I just
There he goes again.
yeah, I knew yeah.
Classic Richard.
Yeah. So I just like slowed down over 20, 30 meters out, walked back, and I was like, you know what, guys, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm gonna get out of it. And everyone's like, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah. And so, what's wrong? And I was like, just doesn't feel quite right. I'm gonna go inside. I'm like 10 out of 10 pain, mate.
Oh,
Because
really
this
bad.
tear is really bad. Packed up my stuff as much as as quickly as I could. Got out to this little fountain, and I was just wincing underneath these stairs where no one could see me. Like this. Again, got out the door, hopped in a taxi, back in the off license, bought a bag of peas, and the man's like, back quick. Because I bought some sports drinks from there that morning. I was like, yeah, I've hurt myself, mate. And I just got back to the flat and just sat the ice pack on there.
There's just a thing of like, you just don't want to show this like weakness in front of people. Like these in Japan, like being to be honest, a white guy and being this like blue-eyed and everything, and this sort of idea of this like, whoa, this foreigner. You don't want to seem like you're weak in any sort of capacity. So it's like me falling over and just completely bombing it, looking like an absolute loser to these children.
They still talk about you to this day.
They
and they all refer to
100,
you
yeah.
as their word for, which I forget, their word for white guy.
Yeah, gaijin.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I actually did have it right in my head, but I just wasn't saying.
yeah, they'd be like Jack Sensei is like, I don't know the word for clavicle or the guy that fell over and looked like a loser, but they probably call me Dasai.
It's probably
That's
just
lame.
Jackson.
Dasai.
Is it Jacksame? What were you known
Semi?
as? Semi.
I've got a semi.
Jack's got a semi.
I can't remember what they call you.
Jack Sensei.
Oh, Sensei. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, they probably just use that.
They probably
it-
just
yeah.
say, yeah, Dasai Jack Sensei.
Yeah.
Lame. It's, yeah. Anyway.
I think it's funny how Rich is so humble. Tried to give him the stage for a moment there, and he's like, oh, I did athletics, when he was like, got like 75% along the path to the Olympics.
Well, it's different circles, mate. I mean, round here I was quick.
Yeah,
I was like around here, but when you go into those different circles, mate, like the difference between a person who can run 11 seconds, 10.8, 10.5, down to someone who can run 10.2 over 100 meters is just different, mate. Completely different gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about this with someone.
I was not that caliber.
I was talking about it with someone recently where I mentioned it, where I was like, in high school, I was the acting guy and felt on top of the world with like being good at acting, right? But as soon as I went to college, I realized, oh, hold on a second, there's people out there that are way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
movie
Like,
stars.
the
Same for
world
everything,
opens up.
Same for everything. Yeah.
No, I know. It's like, what are you think you're better than these people? No, it's like in your age range and bracket of like, and whatnot. It's like realizing it's like, Jesus, the world is way bigger than just this small.
The thing is though that I do think that physical stuff more so than acting and other things like that. I believe that optimism is very, very important when it comes to stuff like acting and skills that are probably not easier to learn, but can be taught and learned. And what I'm trying to say is, like, I genuinely believe that there's probably some timeline where if you remained optimistic and used that as motivation, that you probably could have got to that level. However, when you're then talking about it in Richard's example, I just believe some people are built different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to physical stuff, like,
Oh no,
there's
they
just
are.
nothing you can do.
They are, because if
I fully believe that.
yeah, because then anyone
100%.
would do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if I'll just do it. Beat Rich.
I think it can just compound
That'd be
over. Like, I think it can just compound over such a long period of time. Like, for example, if you get in the techers right with a youngster, and then they get less injured, like the technique and like, like you do the right training stimulus with them early. It just compounds over time. Like acting, like or like going to the gym, it just compounds over time. The longer you run that you have at it, the better you're probably going to be.
Guys, Hykk's Adventures turned into something awesome there. Really, really
That was our whole
good.
first bit.
Yeah, and on that note,
And we're on time.
we're going to take a break, come straight back for more Talk Bits.
Just make a little cheeky correction there. Let's see how that looks. Oh yes. Oh, very nice. Brilliant. All right. Well, look, a couple things to share with you. We're trying out a new editing style, so you can see the video overlays on there. Trying that so that we don't have to do so many cuts between all of the videos, between all the cameras. Sorry. So let us know what you think of that. See if you like that. Takes a bit more effort, but we're not afraid to do that. And the other thing is, on this channel, we could use a cheeky bit of software just to do all the cuts automatically, but we're doing it manually so that we can show you all of the cool interactions that happen between all of us. So yeah, we hope you appreciate that extra effort that we're going to. If you haven't already, consider doing that. And then the last thing I want to show you is we've got our website, 4bit.co.uk. So this will be the landing page. Go on over, check that out. If you scroll down here, you can see, extra bits here, like a little store, our YouTube, our Patreon, our TikTok and Instagram, those logos. And if you head on through, I can show you a couple of bits and bobs. So we've got some limited edition t-shirts on there, a little pin badge if you like, and we've got some stickers too, just starting out, but there'll be more things going on there in the future. Importantly, these two things here, these are limited edition. There's only 200 of these t-shirts. And we made them for Comic-Con, so be part of history. And last but not least, don't forget to check out our Patreon page here. There's a bit more information on here and different tiered memberships. All right, enjoy the video. Cheers.
Guys, welcome back to Talk Bits. We just did a Hykk's Adventure. That's going to become a thing. We just did a Hykk's Adventure, and it was all about sports and running. And just completely by chance, this is luck of the draw. It's closest wins time, and it is sports related.
Is it really?
Yes, completely. You won't
Look
believe
at
how the
that.
rest of this pod's going to go, and it's just how it's gone. Right?
That's crazy.
Sounds like you changed it in
No,
the break.
Yeah, it's crazy. Guys, closest wins. If you have not seen this at home so far, I ask a question, the guys guess.
Yeah.
And if they guess closer, they win. Rich is on 6, Hyakk is on 5, Nath is on 2, Robbie is on 1. We have all scored, but Robbie's got some catching up to do. Pardon?
Sorry, what? I don't know what that voice was.
Pardon?
Moaning sound.
I didn't even make that sound.
I so hope that was picked up.
Yeah. That camera would have got it if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, we could go back and add it in.
We'll
We're adding that in.
Enhance that bit of the
Enhanced. The question.
Zoom in on his face.
The question is, what is the current high jump world record?
Oh, this
my
is so
goodness.
unfair.
Now, it was originally 100-meter sprint, and I deliberately changed it because Rich will probably actually know that. I don't think you'll know high jump.
It's 959.
Yeah, it was. I remember from when I changed
Oh, I
it.
think you meant the high jump was that.
God,
I was like, that's
thank
bloody
God,
high.
Chris.
But
Fine.
it's either 5'8" or 5'9", but I've changed it to high jump.
Oh,
Does
sorry.
it still
I
have
think
boat, or
yeah,
am I out
Could be
there?
5'8".
yeah, you're right. I
What's-
think it might be 5'8". Yeah.
The high jump's when you run, do the.
It's when you jump
backwards.
high. Yeah.
It's not with the pole, is it?
No, that's pole
No,
vault.
the
I
old
think.
Fosbury Flop, mate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the technique's called.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Never did it.
What is the
Dick
current...
Frosby, if I'm not mistaken.
The guy who invented that sort of
The-
jump style?
Yeah, the
Oh, okay.
Fosbury Flop.
I wonder what you meant to start with.
What a name.
Guys, what is the current high jump world record?
So, how I know this in
Are we
How
in feet or
big's-
meters?
Meters.
Good.
how big's a Hobbit?
Well, Robbie's been to New Zealand, and
How
I
big's a
never went
Hobbit?
to Hobbiton.
I thought you went.
You never went to Hobbit?
That was in your adventure, the one that we did for you.
No, I
that
didn't
went
do
wrong.
Hobbiton. I went to
You're a liar.
Are you a liar?
I went to Weta Studios where
Oh,
they made
yeah.
all the armor and the special effects for it and everything.
Okay, fair.
And
Wait, why are
stuff.
we talking about hobbits?
I would know. I don't know the.
He only
meters.
knows height and how high
In
hobbits
in
are.
how
So he's
many
going to
hobbits.
say 3
Would be
hobbits high.
exact
Is
three
that because you're as
hobbits.
short as a hobbit?
No,
You only know your own reference for height.
no.
Hyakk measures things with hobbits.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
hobbits is.
Hobbits is.
I've got my answer.
Oh, we've got an answer already. I
Whoa.
think everyone
Um,
else has just been talking about.
Yeah,
high
yeah, I've just been
hobbits.
chatting. Hold on. Keep the mic busy.
Okay.
Mike is busy.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Do we want to be maybe saying anyone on our TikToks or our Reels? Don't forget, there's lots of extra content on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
only getting the snippets on those other platforms.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
and
gonna-
check us out on the other one.
He's
On-
right.
on-
I'm doubling down on what Rich is saying. For TikTok, some of our videos, thank you so much. They've done really, really well. We really, really appreciate it. But all of our stuff is over on YouTube. So the TikTok people, we love you. We see you. We read the comments and we love the comments. Scroll up, YouTube, subscribe. That's where it's all at, okay? They all come from the YouTube. So go take a look. Go take a look. Are we ready?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know.
I think this is a very hard question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie, what have you put?
Knowledge. I think this is very
I'm
hard.
not good at meters
10
either.
meters. No, I put 2.55.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
very, very sensible.
Can I be a commentator on this as we go?
Yeah.
So I think that's in the realms, but I think it's a touch too high.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I changed it
Can I-
from 4
can I
5 as
go
well.
last?
I've
Can I go
overshot.
last?
You want to go last?
Yeah, go on.
Cool.
2.2.
Ooh, too low, I'm afraid, my man. Too low.
Yeah, I think I've overshot. I've gone for 3.7.
Ooh,
Wow,
no.
that's high.
I knew that I was going.
Yeah.
That's
At,
mental.
I knew I was going
That's
at
high,
like
innit?
the highest possible, but I was
have you
obviously
done?
trying to think highest possible. But I think it's going to be at least close to 3 meters. I really, really do. At
I've
least.
Well,
got,
fair enough.
I think it's 2.45.
I wrote that and then I went up 10.
I think
If it's 2.45, I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, it's me or Robbie.
It isn't it?
It's not Jack. It's not Stewie.
Guys, the high
I'm
jump
Nathan.
world
Oh, sorry.
record is 2.45.
I changed it!
4.5.
Wow.
Did you know that through knowledge, or was that just through? Be honest, because I
no.
changed the running one because you're a runner.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I know. I was able. It was a roundabout guess. It was an educated guess.
It was an educated
Yeah,
guess.
because
That's cool.
I had a little stint of doing high jump actually.
Oh,
before,
there you go.
Here we go.
Before I took up sprinting properly, I was doing javelin, high jump, and
Field
the
events.
sprints. Yeah, I enjoyed those two, high jump and javelin.
So the
And-
majority of the closest wins questions so far have been on Halo.
Halo.
Which Rich
and
knows a lot about.
sports.
Right,
And
this
which
Halo I
Rich
didn't
knows
know
all
about.
about.
This is pure coinky dink here. This is
Yeah, can we get like a Japanese question?
Well,
or something?
next time.
Yeah. Can you at least put something in there
Here's-
for me?
but,
or-
but I think that
What-
I
what do you
couldn't
know,
say
Dave?
what I was going to say.
like a junior high jumper, someone who's maybe
Gotcha.
18,
Yeah.
16, 18, and they're sort of good. Yeah, they could probably do about 2.2.
Okay.
So that would be Jack's answer. But when you start getting to the big boys, we're talking at the Olympics. These guys are long, tall, like lanky guys, 6'2".
Well, I was going to say well hung.
Yeah, well,
I don't think they are, because they'll just hit the bar as you jump over.
Well, you sometimes see that.
Oh, yeah, true.
It gives them some rotational power.
Oh, no,
Like,
you don't see- no, you
whips-
don't
As
see-
it whips around,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like gives them an extra.
Hey, helicopter.
Guys, guess what year that world record was set? This is interesting.
1992.
Oh, 1802.
Close. They're close.
Oh, 1980.
93. No. And I think that's really
Yeah.
interesting because with
even
not
Olympics.
technology or whatever, because it's the same sort of stuff, but in terms of technique, 1993 by someone from Cuba called Javier Sotomayor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
From where?
But 1993, no one's broke that record.
Wow,
And I think that's quite interesting.
impressive.
Do I not get closest
Until-
wins for that?
Until today.
until today? Because
Watch on as we break.
subscribe to watch.
Well, Rich is most expert.
Then we just cut to a shot of Jack running up to a high jump and flopping to the ground.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. And this moves us on nicely. I've loved the sport theme, and we're still on sports, guys. The question for you all was, would you rather, or do you rather, the Summer Olympics, or just the Olympics, or the Winter Olympics? That was my next question. So, the pattern's been
That is
fantastic.
the face of a man who's very passionate about this answer.
So, I need... what would you rather not take part in? What would you rather spectate? Let's do that. What would you rather spectate?
Winter.
I'm winter, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm 100%.
yeah, but
winter.
I think I'd rather summer because there's so much more moving around with a winter one.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, as a
Oh,
spectator,
yeah.
you got to be walking everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I know you do that for summer as well, but there's
I see what you-
everything
bus.
has its own
I see
Yeah, you can
what
get
you
bus.
mean.
bit. Yeah, you could get a bus. What on a mountain? Where do they typically hold Winter Olympics?
China was
Being
the last one, I
serious.
think.
Snowy
No,
places.
I don't mean that. I mean,
No, in
Mountains.
do they,
not,
do
not
they
everything.
No.
do they
Sometimes
build
fake snow.
fabricated arenas for things?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not even asking the question very well. Do they do it on mountains very often? Is what I'm trying to say.
Not
The
always.
Winter Olympics was in Calgary, and I always passed the big long ski jump thing, whatever it is, and that was in the middle of the sea, like not the middle of the sea, outskirts of the sea, not not on a mountain,
Really?
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So there are some bits that they can do.
Yeah, what if there's a big gust of wind?
What?
They not blow them off.
What? Just land on top of a building?
you know, as they're gliding when they're.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's like I'm watching it live.
You know, might get a bit of lift.
He's gone. How light do you think these people are? It's not like they've got a
They
parachute.
fucking glide, bro.
Look at he's crying.
They do glide.
They fully glide.
The skis and that.
Anyway, so winter.
We need to leave Nate for at least 5.
I'll go
You
window.
got-
I'll
you
go
got-
window.
I don't know, mate.
I'm winter because I've always been into like extreme sports. So like skateboarding, inline skating, all that sort of stuff.
Skateboarding's in the normal Olympics though.
Oh my
Yeah, there's Summer
god,
Olympics, bro.
you're right.
And BMXing and all that.
I have a story about that as well.
Most of the
Wow.
extreme sports that you mean are summer.
I'm pretty sure this is accurate. I don't think I'm talking any nonsense here, but I think that each hosting nation gets to choose a game that gets brought into that
I
Olympics.
believe you're correct.
I believe
Yeah.
you're
What, as a
correct.
one-off?
Wait,
I
wasn't
believe-
break dancing one?
I don't know, mate.
dunno.
Don't know.
I think they were trying to bring breakdancing into the Olympics. Oh wait,
Skateboarding.
isn't gaming coming to the Olympics as well?
I don't agree with that.
No, nor do I. Nor do I.
it's
No,
not.
no.
EA
Definitely
Sport.
not. Definitely not.
Or esports even.
Yeah.
It's their own thing.
Yeah.
The fact that you've just brought up skateboarding and all that is in. I'd forgotten that was in the Summer Olympics. So actually, I was winter because of the snowboarding and the skiing and all that. But I'm gonna.
Yeah, but the snowboard and skiing is winter, obviously.
Yeah, you know that's what I mean. But that was all I was thinking for winter. But skateboarding and all that, and I think maybe I am some. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just get a bit bored of just watching people run around in circles.
Oh, there's
That was such a narrow-minded thing to say.
Rich is so triggered.
And NASCAR fans are livid.
I'm like,
NASCAR fans are. The comments are going to light up again. You've done it again.
It's fine.
no, this is fine. This is good. So what
This is
don't
fine. This is good.
Yeah.
absolutely fine. I think I am more of a summer guy. But what's interesting about what's interesting though is I do really like the idea of winter stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've never tuned in for it though. But you see them do bobsleigh stuff.
Bobsled's
Yeah.
incredible stuff. isn't it?
Yeah.
I know some bobsleighs.
Do you?
They
Yeah.
Jamaican.
Great film.
Well,
It's a great film.
they were GB guys.
Yeah.
They're British, aren't they?
He was talking about
the
Cool
film.
Runnings.
Oh right.
Have
Phil-
you seen Cool Runnings?
Of course I have. No.
Yeah.
But there's tactics in if you I suppose like everything. It's like when you know the tactics that are happening on the field or in the race, it makes it more interesting.
That is true. If you do trip him up in front of you, you will get ahead of him.
Yeah. Or like the classic one, for example. So Mo Farah, when he was winning like his 5k or his 10k,
the
at
blood
previous
infusion.
world champs and stuff like that,
tactics.
If I'm not mistaken, his thing was he could do a high pace. No. He had the sprint finish. So the other people in the race, their tactic to try and beat Mo was to run as fast a pace as they could to take the sprint finish out of him.
Okay.
And they pushed him to the limit to try and really take that out. Because if you'd run a slow pace and then a couple laps left, he'd just do a sprint finish and win.
Yeah.
So they had to push him like that. And when you know those kinds of tactics are at play, it makes it quite an interesting spectacle.
Hadn't thought of it like
That's
that.
with every sport, like every sport actually. When you think, oh, this is boring, there's so much in-depth tactics that are going through pretty much every sport.
Including back to sort of the gaming vibe as well, though. Like,
Yeah, of
If
course.
you know that,
Of course.
if we went to League, for example, if they know that this team's ADC actually is the weakest part of their 5-man team,
Then they'll
jungle, gank bot side. all the
yeah,
time.
bot side, yeah, carry.
But anyway, back to back to real life stuff.
IRL.
So naturally, I would sometimes think like, I like the winter one more because I like snowboarding.
Yes.
But I have very fond memory. I love the Summer Olympics and have very fond memories of every single day. I used to live in my great nan's house. And
What's so great about it?
Nice. Good question, Nathan. Great
It's
question.
always the nan thing.
Great question. Yeah, Nan's come up a lot in this podcast.
Yeah. So no, I don't know why I was staying there, but every single day would get up, have some breakfast, and put it on, and talk about it. And she was always, we got to watch the diving, and I was like, I hate the diving.
The
then.
what? Oh, the diving.
Yeah,
Okay,
the diving. Yeah. But I love that they bring skateboarding to the Olympics because I love skateboarding. But one thing, somebody has just in my company that I work for, the newest guy that we just got in was going to the Olympics for skateboarding.
What, in
skateboarding.
Paris?
That
But
is
they
incredible.
But they couldn't go because they got injured before they went.
really?
Yeah.
That's
What, representing
Yeah.
Great Britain or representing? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sucks for him.
Criminal.
I know. And he works for the company. I'm like, Jesus, bro, you're actually sick.
We'll get him on the pod.
Sure.
Not joking. Anyway, because I think skateboarding,
Do it.
the level
God.
of the level of technical difficulty and athleticism you need to be a good skateboarder is actually nuts.
It's insane.
Like the
Yeah.
technical skill to flip the board in such a way, to catch it in such a way, and
Yeah,
loads
it's-
and loads of skill.
I'm so glad they brought it
Yeah.
into the Summer Olympics. I love watching it. And especially because, like, there are some kids in it. No, there are some upcoming kids that I know about that are really good skateboarders and just so happen to be, I think, half Japanese, half British.
Okay,
So it's like I really wanna see them do it as well.
definitely.
You want to see the kids do it.
No, they're just so
No,
talented. Oh,
Nate, Rich. I
Yeah,
thought
mate.
you were gonna say
Sorry, I'm
something.
being very silly this
No. I've got nothing.
Oh, I can
Not after
tell.
that comment.
Guys,
yeah.
this was so sport orientated. I don't want to go on to my last 2 points. They're not sport orientated. I think we've smashed it.
You
Okay.
want to stick with sport?
I think we should try and stick with sport. So,
that?
is it? What were you best? What were you best at? So, in terms of school, I was always good at long jump. Very good at long jump. I had no technical ability. I remember when I used to go to like the sports days events when all the schools went to a track, and like I'd get no jump, third jump I'd win. It happened several years where I was just good at long jump. Has anyone got there like when they were at school?
Is it
Mate, I was long jump with you.
Oh yes, you were.
Yeah.
Is it
You
just
were
'cause you're
long-
lanky
It was me.
shit?
Don't you remember on the final year of high school, on the final sports day, we jumped the exact same distance?
I've just had like a sort of
2.33
memory
meters.
unlock.
2.33.
Wow.
2.33 meters. Not a good score by the grandest.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things,
but for us.
But you know, for school distance.
I remember that
all
all was yeah, good memes.
Mine was, if I were to ever take part in any of the sports days or anything like that, I would always be placed in 400. That was actually
Oh,
my
you
thing.
said, yeah.
That actually was my thing.
And when you were younger, could you do the 400 and sprint the whole time?
No, I mean,
Or did you also fall over?
technically,
Yeah.
you don't, as Rich said, you don't sprint it the whole time. But, like, I could keep up quite a good pace throughout the entire thing.
So why for your adventure at your new age, did you decide to sprint the whole time?
Because I'm
I'm not taking the. That's not
You
even.
can do it in your prime.
It's because he was gassed up. He's,
He was
because
so
he's in
I was against
Japan,
kids.
and he's giving it all the big uns to
Yeah.
the teachers and the kids,
Yeah.
and he just forgot his wisdom, mate.
Yeah,
left it at home. Yeah, that's true.
I just thought I could do it.
It's like that third bottle of wine.
Yeah,
Always get shit.
indeed. Yeah.
Because there's different energy systems that you burn through when you do a 400, and yeah, going off hard, mate, just penalizes you once you get to 300 meters or like when you got about 150 meters left. If you sprint, oh dear, you are in trouble.
Well, I remember very well on the I was about to say the Olympics. I don't know what to actually call it. On the sports days where we used to do the ones with the other schools as well. And
the Wellesley.
The Wellesley. Yeah. I remember one of those where the schedule determined it that I think I had to do like the 200 because I think they wanted you to do the 200 and you wanted to do the 100. And then so you did the 100 and I got asked to do the 200 because there wasn't really anyone else like who was like a proper runner out of all of us. It was just like they just always looked towards the people in the rugby team and they're in the back line of the rugby team, be like, you can run.
Yeah, he's a runner. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got put in to do the 200, but the long jump was 5 minutes after the 200. So I had to, I had to do the 200. Then I went. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And then I had to go and
think
do
I
the long
do.
jump, and I did one attempt. It was really bad. And then by my second attempt, I remember coming back to the start line, turning to you and be like, I can't do it.
Puffed
And then I was literally on a pile on the floor. I was like
Puffed
almost sick.
Yeah.
Like I've never been like that, like hurting from physical activity.
You just sprinted 200 meters, 5 minutes across to the jump, and then had to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm sure for some people that's probably a doddle, but you know.
Yeah.
If you're fit, healthy, well trained, and well conditioned, like after months and months of training, you'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
But hard, mate. That'd still be hard.
But yeah, I was never. There's sports I have done, but I wouldn't say I've been like any good at them. When I was really young, I used to obviously do football. I'm sure a lot of people did football when they were way younger. Defender.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually was in one game of rugby in high school. I don't think anyone remembers that.
You never played rugby because
I
literally
played
all
rugby.
of us were on it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 games, but then I didn't keep up with it.
Oh, okay.
But I was a flanker.
Yeah, there's a position.
Yeah, I was in the front. Whatever.
I'm not taking the mick.
No, I know you're not taking the mick.
I was so
but it's just the
sincere.
way he said. You were like, yeah, that's a position.
That is a
Yeah,
position.
you're not making this up.
Yeah.
I was
Great job.
reassuring him.
But then in
Is that front?
I don't know where it plays.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
I don't-
Yes, it is.
I was going to
Yeah.
say that's why I don't really know.
What?
I actually don't know where it
The
plays.
backs don't worry about knowing the front position,
No,
mate.
no.
I did
They're all just in that pile.
Yeah. In the
Give us
mix.
the ball, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, let's go.
I didn't know any of the positions. I was just on the wing.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
my job.
winger.
But then
I was on the opposite way.
Yeah.
in Canada, I picked up baseball.
Cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'd like to try that actually.
Yeah.
I'd like to play
Baseball
baseball.
Yeah.
is
I very
so
much
sick.
like
Like
baseball.
it's so much better to play it. Watching it can be quite hard and everything, but it's like I always wanted to pitch because I just love the fact that you just put your hands on the different seams of the ball and then it will spin in a different direction or slow down or speed up and all this sort of stuff, right?
Didn't know that.
So yeah, and I
What, like he put his hands on balls?
You know what we could do?
We can't do anything.
You know what we
here.
could do in our breaks for days like today, which outside of where we shoot, we have a big cricket field. We could buy a baseball set and we could try baseball.
Yeah.
We
I still have my
we come in here all the time.
I
I
still
love
have
rounders.
frisbees.
No, rounders suck.
Basically the
I still
same.
have my glove and my baseballs.
We should totally mix something like that into our days, though. That'd be sick. If we like in the middle of a day, be like, oh, I'm exhausted from doing the
Shooting.
Star Wars stuff, which we've had last month, and then we just go outside and do some frisbee. Next time we do some baseball, then we do some rounders. And
That's a really good idea.
yeah,
Or
It's like 20 minutes.
even bring a football. Just kick it
Yeah,
about.
Yeah, yeah.
Little kickabout. Yeah.
Fair.
Robbie,
Definitely.
what did you do for sports?
Yeah, Rob.
I'd have done football.
So nothing sort of.
Did you not do anything
Yeah, I
in?
played football for about 12 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. From
Ah.
when I was like
Oh, actually, I think I've seen you play football. You're semi
8
decent.
till
aren't you?
I'm 16.
by our standards.
Oh,
Wait,
then
were you
yes.
in the
Then
year?
yes,
were,
yes.
Were you in the year where we were actually like really good?
Oh, I didn't play for the school.
Oh, okay.
I played for like a Sunday league.
Because there was a year where
But
it was
yes,
like the
yes,
Jack
it was.
Pullen year or something, right?
Oh,
Where-
you're the Jack Pullen year.
No, sorry, the
Sam Pullen.
yeah, sorry, I
Then
shouldn't
yeah,
use
that's
names
my
anyway,
year.
but there was a year where they were actually good.
Yeah, we
where
had
they
someone
actually
who
really
played
well.
for Norfolk on our team at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
well, there
yeah.
you go. But yeah, we had some decent ones, and then they weren't. No, they weren't good anymore. I remember the time I tried to play football because I used to play football back in like the middle school or whatever, and I went up to the football lot in our year and was like just started, hey guys, whatever, and one of them came up to me and was like, "Do you even know him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I went to school with him." It's like, and that just completely. I was like, I don't want to play football anymore.
Yeah.
Just because of that one interaction. Like, I don't like any of these people
You
now.
could have been like, you could have been
Such a
like,
sweeping statement.
you could have been like Messi. You could be an incredible footballer.
Yeah.
At that one moment,
No, that's it. I actually could have been the next Messi.
Yeah,
Just
I
gets
always
up and
think-
leaves.
That joke was made.
I always think it's about rugby though, because I feel like we were actually all quite passionate about playing rugby back in the day, and we, out of principle, without going into further details for the sake of this, we all packed it in.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a shame,
definitely.
really.
I put my back out, didn't I?
All ruined by one person.
Oh,
Me.
I don't know who. Oh.
We're not going to go into
No, I won't tell the details of the story, but basically there was a member of staff that caused us to not want to play rugby anymore. That was basically
Yeah.
the
Oh.
story.
Yeah, I remember.
I want to learn about this. I don't know. I don't think I know.
No, I
this.
wouldn't say that on a
This is a
No.
off-camera situation.
Yeah. Tell me afterwards, or
Yeah.
watch. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, there's a Patreon video.
But I think there's another world in which, if that we could have actually carried on playing rugby sometime.
Yeah.
And we'll
And on
be
that-
professionals.
Professionals.
Nah.
Nah.
not in rugby, mate. You can't keep up with the adult rugby players. Teenagers different, but when you talk about the adult ones, mate, they're just different beasts.
They're built different.
Yeah, they're built different.
I've enjoyed this sports orientated.
So have I, actually.
Yeah, we talk
It's
about
made me want to go outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Touch
Really
some
good.
grass.
Touch
some
grass.
grass.
Oh, we talk about games a lot, so
Yeah,
Something different. We actually do go outside.
we do go outside, even though it's a really lovely day here in Norfolk, and it's probably the hottest day of the year so far, and we've decided to spend all day inside a building. But
Filming it for you.
for you guys,
Dedicated.
So
Guys-
please subscribe.
Pod 11 is a wrap. Good stuff. We're going to see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
chicken chow mein.
Ta-ta. Mate, you should do a bit where you've got a Chinese menu at the end of each episode. You just put it up and be like, that's fried rice. Yeah, and you just slowly go down.